It was a busy Saturday afternoon at Urban Style Outlet, a downtown store known for its modern fashions and friendly atmosphere. Shoppers filled the aisles, and the hum of conversation mixed with the soft music playing in the background. Among the staff was Tiffany, a cashier with a reputation for efficiency, but also for a curt and sometimes careless attitude. Dressed in the store's standard navy uniform, Tiffany wore a smile that rarely reached her eyes. Unbeknownst to the employees, the store's owner, Samuel Reeves, had been working undercover for several months. Samuel had swapped his suit for jeans, a simple sweater, and a baseball cap to blend in with the customers. He had always believed that true leadership meant experiencing the everyday workings of his business firsthand. Today, Samuel walked in like any other shopper, keenly observing the interactions between the staff and the customers. Near the entrance, Samuel paused to examine a new display when his attention was drawn to the register area. At the counter, Tiffany was assisting Mr. Johnson, a middle-aged African-American gentleman wearing a neat blazer. Mr. Johnson had come in to purchase a gift for his granddaughter. His friendly inquiry about the availability of a lighter shade for a scarf quickly turned into a moment that would change the day. Tiffany's expression shifted as she listened. In a low, dismissive tone meant for nearby ears, she said, "Frankly, we rarely see people like you here. Maybe you should try a store that actually understands your style." Her voice, though soft, carried a clear snub that made Mr. Johnson visibly uncomfortable. Mr. Johnson's smile faded, replaced by a look of hurt and disbelief. I don't understand," he stuttered, his eyes searching Tiffany's face for an explanation. A couple of customers nearby exchanged uneasy glances, while one person subtly recorded the interaction on their phone. Samuel's heart sank as he caught every word. He couldn't believe that such a comment was being made in his store. Unable to remain silent any longer, Samuel stepped forward from the nearby display and addressed the situation directly. "Excuse me, may I have a word?" he said in a firm yet calm voice. Startled, Tiffany looked up, her confidence faltering under Samuel's steady gaze. "Is there a problem?" she asked, trying to maintain control of the situation. Mr. Johnson, still shaken, managed to say quietly, "That remark was uncalled for." His voice carried both pain and a plea for understanding. Samuel's face hardened. "I heard what you said," he declared, his tone leaving no room for excuses. "I've been in this store longer than you have, and I expect every employee to treat our customers with respect and dignity." His words echoed in the suddenly quiet area, and a heavy silence fell over the counter. Tiffany tried to explain. "It was just a joke. I didn't mean any harm." But Samuel's expression made it clear that there was no place for such excuses here. "A joke that degrades someone's identity isn't acceptable," he replied firmly. "Our customers come here to feel welcome, not ridiculed. You have violated the very principles on which this store was built." At that moment, Samuel removed his baseball cap, revealing his identity as the owner. Shock and murmurs ran through the room. Customers and staff alike looked on as Samuel Reeves, a respected name in the community, stood before them with disappointment in his eyes. "This store is my vision," he continued, his voice steady yet filled with resolve. "I built Urban Style Outlet on a foundation of respect, diversity, and inclusion. Today, you have shattered that foundation." Tiffany's eyes welled up with tears, and she opened her mouth to protest, but Samuel held up his hand. "There is no excuse for discrimination. Consider this your termination, effective immediately." The words, though simple and direct, left no room for debate. A nearby manager, Lisa, stepped forward hesitantly. "Sir, should we not give her a chance to explain further?" she asked softly, clearly troubled by the unfolding events. "No, Lisa," Samuel replied. "Our policies are clear. Respect is not negotiable." His tone left little doubt that his decision was final. Mr. Johnson, still standing there, managed a quiet, "Thank you." His simple words conveyed the deep hurt he had experienced, as well as a measure of relief at being acknowledged by someone in charge. After dismissing Tiffany, Samuel gathered the remaining staff in a quiet corner of the store. "I want to be very clear," he began, his voice measured and sincere, "that our customers' dignity is paramount. Every interaction in this store reflects our core values. Today's incident is a stark reminder that we must all be vigilant and hold ourselves to the highest standards. An employee named David spoke up, his voice low. I've seen comments like that before, but I was too scared to speak up. Today, I wish I had intervened. His admission was met with murmurs of agreement. Maria, another team member, added, "It hurts to know that our work environment allowed such behavior. We all need to learn from this." Samuel nodded, acknowledging their honesty. Your voices matter, and this is a turning point for us. We need to rebuild trust not only with our customers, but within our team as well. Later that day, as Samuel walked through the store, he overheard a small group of employees discussing the incident. "I can't believe this happened in our store," one employee whispered to another. Samuel approached them gently, saying, "I know this is difficult, but let's use today as a lesson. Every word we speak shapes our culture. Let's work together to ensure that every customer feels respected." You can work together as well by hitting that subscribe and like button. Appreciate your support. Now back to the story. In a quiet back office, Samuel called his regional manager, Rebecca. "Rebecca, arrange a mandatory cultural sensitivity and anti-discrimination training for all staff starting tomorrow," he instructed. "Also, set up a confidential hotline for any future issues." Rebecca replied promptly, "I'll get right on it, Samuel. We need to ensure our team understands that respect is our top priority." Meanwhile, Samuel made his way back to Mr. Johnson, who was still at the counter. "Mr. Johnson, I am deeply sorry for the hurt you experienced today," Samuel said sincerely. "Your comfort and dignity are our highest priorities." Mr. Johnson managed a small smile. "Thank you, Mr. Reeves. It's good to know that someone cares," he replied, his voice steadier than before. News of the incident spread quickly beyond the store. Social media buzzed with posts praising Samuel's decisive action, and local news outlets picked up the story. Urban Style Outlet soon found itself at the center of a conversation about accountability and respect in retail. Samuel's firm stance not only addressed the immediate issue, but also sent a clear message. Discrimination would not be tolerated. In the days that followed, the store atmosphere began to change. Staff meetings were more open, and honest discussions about respect and inclusion became part of daily routines. New posters celebrating diversity were displayed prominently, and regular training sessions helped reinforce the company's values. Even employees who had remained silent in the past found their voices, eager to contribute to a more positive environment. One afternoon, Samuel observed Jessica, a new cashier, as she handled a difficult customer interaction with calm assertiveness. When a co-worker made an offhand comment about a customer's accent, Jessica quickly interjected, "That kind of remark isn't acceptable here. We treat everyone with respect." Samuel later commended her in front of the team, saying, "Jessica, your courage and commitment to our values is exactly what we need." Her words and actions became a model for the entire team. Urban Style Outlet began to rebuild its reputation, not just as a store with great products, but as a community hub that valued every individual. As Samuel reflected on the day's events, he realized that even moments of discomfort could lead to meaningful change. His actions had not only restored dignity to a wronged customer, but had also sparked a renewed commitment to fairness among his staff. Every time he walked through the store, now filled with genuine smiles and thoughtful conversations, he was reminded that a single moment could transform an entire culture. So what would you do if you were in Samuel's shoes? How would you respond if you discovered that a team member's careless words hurt a customer so deeply? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.